Hello, friends, and welcome to Adventures in Pixieland. My name's Amy, and I'm an ordained minister, and we are in Bible study. We are in the NIV, and we are in the book of Ezekiel. We are in chapter 30, a lament for Egypt. In the previous video, there was a prophecy about their fall to Babylon. The word of the Lord came to me, Son of man, prophesy and say, this is what the sovereign Lord says. Wail and say, alas, for that day! For that day is near. The day of the Lord is near, a day of clouds, a time of doom for the nations. A sword will come against Egypt, and the anguish will come from Cush, which is the upper Nile region. When the slain fall in Egypt, her wealth will be carried away, and her foundations torn down. Cush and Put, Lydia and all Arabia, Libya, that's footnote F. That is cub, literally C-U-B. And all the people of the covenant land will fall by the sword along with Egypt. This is what the Lord says. The allies of Egypt will fall, and her proud strength will fail. From Migdol to Aswan, they will fall by the sword within her, declares the sovereign Lord. They will be desolate among desolate lands, and their cities will lie among ruined cities. Then they will know that I am the Lord, when I set fire to Egypt, and all her helpers are crushed. In the previous video, they talked about eventually Egypt will get to go back to its own land after 40 years. 70 years for the Israelites, 40 years for the Egyptians. And you note it, 40 years. The same amount of time that the Israelites wandered through the desert after fleeing Egypt. They have to be enslaved for 40 years. It was like almost 400 years, I think, that the Israelites were enslaved. Now, most of Egypt was also enslaved by Pharaoh. Joseph created that situation in the stockpiling of food, and then because they didn't have anything to buy it with, everybody became enslaved in order to stay fed. On that day, messengers will go out from me in ships to frighten Cush out of her complacency. Anguish will take hold of them on the day of Egypt's doom, for it is sure to come. This is what the sovereign Lord says. I will put an end to the hordes of Egypt by the hand of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon. He and his army, the most ruthless of nations, will be brought in to destroy her land. They will draw the sword against Egypt and fill the land of the slain. I will dry up the streams of the Nile and sell the land to evil men by the hand of foreigners. I will lay waste the land and everything in it. I, the Lord, have spoken. This is what the sovereign Lord says. I will destroy the idols, and I will put an end to the images in Memphis, or Noph in Hebrew, N-O-P-H. No longer will there be princes in Egypt, and I will spread fear throughout the land. I will lay waste to Upper Egypt, Pathros in Hebrew, set fire to Zon, and inflict punishment on Thebes, No in Hebrew. I will pour out my wrath on Pelusium, P-E-L-U-S-I-U-M, called Sin, S-I-N in Hebrew, the stronghold of Egypt. And I will cut off the hordes of Thebes. I will set fire to Egypt. Pelusium will writhe in agony. Thebes will be taken by storm. Memphis will be in constant distress. The young men of Halapias, or in Hebrew, Awen, A-W-E-N, as in Celtic, Awen is the term for your connection to divine source. That's what they call it. Win. And Bubastis. In Hebrew, that's Pi Beseth, will fall by the sword, and the cities themselves will go into captivity. Dark will be the day at Tapanis, Tahpanhes, when I break the yoke of Egypt. There her proud strength will come to an end. She will be covered with clouds, and her villages will go into captivities. So I will inflict punishment on Egypt, and they will know that I am the Lord. In the 11th year, in the 1st month, on the 7th day, the word of the Lord came to me. Son of man, I have broken the arm of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. It has not been bound up for healing or put in a splint so as to become strong enough to hold the sword. Therefore, this is what the sovereign Lord says. I am against Pharaoh, king of Egypt. I will break both his arms, the good arm as well as the broken one, and make the sword fall from his hand. I will disperse the Egyptians among the nations and scatter them through the countries. I will strengthen the arms of the king of Babylon and put my sword in his hand, but I will break the arms of Pharaoh, and he will groan before him like a mortally wounded man. I will strengthen the arms of the king of Babylon, but the arms of Pharaoh will fall limp. Then they will know that I am the Lord. When I put my sword into the hand of the king of Babylon, and he brandishes it against Egypt, I will disperse the Egyptians among the nations and scatter them through the countries. Then they will know that I am the Lord. Now, long list of grievances between the Lord and the king of Egypt. If you follow the conquering nations and what goes on, at some point, those kings get exposed to some Jewish person who tries to talk to them about the Lord, and while the God is seeing if they will convert, if they will believe, if they will, something, nothing bad happens to them as long as they're praising God and good stuff. But if they keep, idolatry with other things, or they try to hurt one of his people, then all of a sudden calamity. And when we get to the book of Daniel, which is coming up, it should be, I do believe it's the book right after this one. I do believe it is. Yes, the book of Daniel is the next book. You'll get to hear about, that's the prophet or man of God, even if you don't want to think of him as a prophet, the man of God was directly protected by God in the middle of a fire, sent to convince the king of Babylon that there is only a God. So, Pharaoh, king of Egypt, was told back at the time of Moses who God was. So he's like, oh, no. We've met up with you before, and we know how your ancestors have rolled. We're not playing with this game. We know what it takes. So, I hope you'll join me for the next video, friends. Cedar in Lebanon, chapter 31 of the book of Ezekiel.